Hey guys, welcome back. Today's topic is coordination in plants. This is from Control and Coordination chapter of Class 10 Biology. Let's begin. Animals have nervous system for controlling and coordinating different activities of the body. But plants neither have nervous system nor the muscular system. Then how do the plants respond to different stimuli? Let's discuss this with the help of few examples. Here, when we touch the leaves of a touch-me-not plant, the leaves begin to fold up and droop. This is one example. Another example, when a seed germinates, the root goes down and the stem comes up into the air. Another example. Okay, now let's discuss what happens in both these conditions. Firstly, the leaves of a sensitive plant move very quickly in response to touch. There is no growth involved in this movement. Okay, so this movement shown by the leaves of touch-me-not plant is not related to growth. Okay, and this is due to the turgor changes that are happening inside the plant cells. We will discuss in detail in the coming slides. Okay, now when we discuss the second example, the directional movement of a seedling is caused by growth. So this is growth related movement. When a seed germinates, the root is growing towards the soil and the shoot is growing into the air. So these are the directional movements and these are growth related movements. So if it is prevented from growing, it will not show any movement. So plants show two types of movement. One is growth related movement as seen in case of germinating seeds, and the second is growth independent movement as we have discussed in case of the leaves of touch-me-not plant. Now if we discuss this in detail, since no growth is involved, the plant must actually move its leaves in response to touch. Movement happens a point different from the point of touch. So information that a touch has occurred must be communicated. If you see in this picture, you will understand better. You see here, these are the leaves of touch-me-not plant. Now once we touch here at this tip, then slowly all these leaflets start folding up, they droop, and this is the consequence. What happens here? Is there any growth involved? No, this is not at all related to growth. This is growth independent movement, and these type of movements are due to the turgor changes that occur in plant cells. And here the touch is here at this end of the leaf, and because of that the information is communicated to the other parts of the leaf through the turgor changes. So here because of the turgor changes, the leaflets start folding up and droop. Okay, so this is the result. And here the plants also use electrical chemical means to convey this information from cell to cell, and finally some cells must change shape in order to movement to happen. And here the plant cells change shape by changing the amount of water in them, resulting in swelling or shrinking, and therefore in changing the shapes. So here when water enters into plant cells, the plant cells swell, and when water is lost from the cells, they shrink. And because of this swelling and shrinking of plant cells, the information is communicated from one part of the leaf to the other part, and as a result all these leaflets they get folded, and this is how drooping of the leaves is found in case of touch-me-not plant. So this is how the movement can occur, and this movement of the sensitive plant is not at all related to growth, and this is because of the external stimulus. Okay, here this is what we call a seismonasty. A shock is the stimulus, or we can say a touch is the stimulus. Thigmonasty or seismonasty is found in touch-me-not plant. So here the other names are also used, and the students, you should not get confused about this. The touch-me-not plant is also called the sensitive plant, or it is also called Chew-Moo plant, and this belongs to Mimosa family. So what are the other names of touch-me-not plant? Here the answer is Chew-Moo plant or the sensitive plant, and it belongs to Mimosa family. So this is how the Mimosa pudica, okay, touch-me-not plant show the movement. Okay, now moving to the next, let's discuss about the movements in plants due to growth. Till now we discussed the movements which are not related to growth. They are growth independent movements. They are called nastic movements. They are due to turgor changes in plant cells. Now let's discuss about the plant movements due to growth. One such example is Chemotropism. Here Chemo means touch. Tropism is a directional movement. Now some plants like the pea plant climb up other plants or fences by means of tendrils that are sensitive to touch. You can see here this picture. These are the tendrils, and they are sensitive to touch. Here you can see when the tendril comes in contact with the support, it will circle around the support and grows. So it is clinging to the support. It is encircling this support. So it circles around the support and then grows. This is what we call Chemotropism. And here in this example, some plants like pea plant climb up other plants or fences by means of tendrils that are sensitive to touch. The part of the tendril in contact with the object does not grow as rapidly as the part of the tendril away from the object. So because of this, there is unilateral growth. It means one side we find the more growth. The part of the tendril which is not in contact with the support grows more, and the part of the tendril which is in contact with the support grows less. And because of this unilateral growth, the tendril will circle around the support and then it grows. This is what we call Chemotropism. This is due to the stimulus of touch. Chemo means touch. Okay, this causes the tendril to circle around the object and thus clinch to it. This is what we call Chemotropism, and this type of movement is seen in the plants that have tendrils. The best example, pea plant, you can imagine about. And here is one of the plant with tendrils. You can see the tendrils, they are circling around the support and they are growing. Now moving to one more example. This is Phototropism. This is also movement due to growth. Here photo means light and tropism is a directional movement. So environmental triggers such as light will change the directions that the plant parts grow in. So here the light is a stimulus in phototropism and it is a directional movement. Okay, so in two different kinds of phototropic movement, shoots respond by bending towards light. So shoot bend towards light and the roots respond by bending away from the light. So here you can see this picture. You will understand better. Shoot is bending towards light. This is a window and the sunlight is coming into the room through this window. And you can see the plant is bending towards light. This bending movement is due to unilateral growth. And here the mechanism is the part of the plant which is towards the light will grow slow. Okay, and the part of the plant which is towards the shaded region will grow faster. Okay, this is because of the difference in concentration of the plant growth hormones like auxins. So higher concentration on one side, low concentration on another side, and because of this unilateral growth is seen in plants, and hence the plant bend towards light. Here the shoot bend towards light. This is bending movement, and this is because of unilateral growth, and this is positive phototropism. Shoot is positively phototropic, whereas here the roots do not grow towards light. You can see they are not coming out of this vessel towards the light. No, they are going downwards. So roots are negatively phototropic and a shoot is positively phototropic. Okay, so this is what we call phototropism. Here the shoots respond by bending towards light. This is positive phototropism, and roots respond by bending away from light. This is negative phototropism. Okay, so you can see here this is positive phototropism and roots show negative phototropism. Now moving to the next, here geotropism. This is due to the stimulus of gravity or the stimulus of pull of earth. Here the roots of a plant always grow downwards while the shoots usually grow upwards and away from the earth. So this is what we call geotropism. Okay, so roots grow downwards because of the pull of the earth or because of the gravity, and this is what we call positive geotropism, whereas shoots usually grow upwards, and this is negative geotropism. Okay, this upward and downward growth of shoots and roots respectively in response to the pull of earth or gravity is obviously geotropism. You will find here in this picture, you will understand better. This you can see negatively geotropic. They are not growing towards the soil. Okay, so this is what we call negative geotropism. But you can see the roots positive geotropism. This is because roots are growing towards soil. This is because of the pull of earth, or this is because of the gravity. So positive geotropism is shown by roots, negative geotropism is shown by shoot. Now moving to the one more type of movement, that is hydrotropism. Here it is a plant's growth response in which the direction of growth is determined by a stimulus or gradient in water concentration. It means here there is a difference in water concentration. Here water is a stimulus. So the plant's growth response due to the water stimulus is what we call hydrotropism. And the best example, plant roots are positively hydrotropic. It means plant roots grow towards water. Obviously water is available inside the soil, so roots grow towards soil. So roots are both positively hydrotropic as well as positively geotropic. Okay, they are growing towards water, they are growing towards soil. So they are positively hydrotropic and positively geotropic. Now moving to one more example of plant movement due to growth, that is chemotropism. Here the stimulus is chemical substance. Okay, now if we discuss here the growth of organisms navigated by the chemical stimulus from outside of the organism is called chemotropism. So in response to chemical stimulus, the plant shows growth, and it is a directional movement, and this is called movement due to growth, and this is chemotropism, as the chemical substance is a stimulus. And the best example is the growth of pollen tube towards ovules. This is example for chemotropism. In this picture, you will find the example of the growth of pollen tube towards ovule. You can see this is the structure of gynoecium, or you can say carpel or a pistil. This is stigma style ovary. Inside the ovary, ovules are present. Now, this is a pollen grain. When it germinates, pollen tube is formed, and this pollen tube is growing towards the ovule because of the chemical substances that are present in this region. So, because of the chemical stimulus, the pollen tube is growing towards the ovule. This is what we call chemotropism, and it is a directional movement. Till now, we discussed several examples of plant movements due to growth, and chemotropism is one example in that. Then we discussed about hydrotropism. This is also a directional movement and it is a growth related movement. Then we discussed about geotropism. It is also a growth related movement and directional movement. And one more example we discussed is about phototropism, and another example thigmotropism. So in all these movements like thigmotropism, phototropism, geotropism, hydrotropism and chemotropism, all these movements are growth related movements, and all these movements are directional movements seen in plants. And on the other hand, in the beginning we discussed about the movement seen in sensitive plant. It is not related to growth. It is nastic movement. It is non-directional movement, and this movement is due to turgor changes in plant cells because of entry of water into the cells and exit of water out of the cells. Because of this, the turgor changes are seen in plant cells, and that turgor changes will send the information from one part of the plant part to another. So like this, the information is communicated from one part to another part in plants, and they show the nastic movements. So the nastic movements are non-directional movements. They are caused by turgor changes in plant cells, and the tropic movements are the directional movements which are caused because of unilateral growth that is seen in plants. This is all about today's topic. If you are new to my channel, subscribe for more sessions. If you liked it, share it with your friends. I'll be back with more sessions. Have a great day. Thank you all.